Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Mam Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namah Pranavartaya Shuddha-jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Guruve Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Beda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam vasudheva sudam devam kamsa chanura mardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum annapurne sadapurne shankara pranavallabe. Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhikshan Dehi Cha Parvati Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanide Vyasishtaya Namo Namaha Sada Shiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Hari Om. Warm welcome to all of you. We warmly welcome all of you to this inaugural global online Srimad Bhagavad Gita chanting organized under the auspices of Atma Jnanam Global Network Foundation, AGGN. Right? So many of you are in the WhatsApp group of this. It is by Bhagavan's blessing that this inaugural edition is taking place during this auspicious Adhika Masa 2026. So 16 lead chanters from across the globe will each devotedly lead the chanting of one of the 18 chapters. Some of them will do multiple chapters, making this a truly global offering at the feet of Bhagavan. Chanting the Bhagavad Gita during this sacred month is known to please Bhagavan Narayana and grant us abundant spiritual punyam. The source for these opening remarks, which I am just reading out, it's better to read out. Of course, you can do extempore because I also do classes, but in such an occasion, it's better to have a written material. So I'm just reading out, which I prepared previously. So the source for this opening remarks is from my Vedanta Guru, Puja Swami Paramarthananda Ji's Bhagavad Gita classes. Right? If the Mahabharatam is considered a lotus in full bloom, then the divine fragrance that emanates from it is the holy Bhagavad Gita. In fact, the Mahabharatam captivates us primarily because of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is enshrined within it. Yet Mahabharatam is 100,000 verses, right? In that 700 verses which Bhagavan gave to us, it makes it so beautiful. Just as a mother first feeds her child liquid food, then semi-solid food, and finally solid food, so too the Gita, our universal mother, first blesses us with Karma Yoga in the beginning of our spiritual journey, Then Upasana Yoga as we grow, and ultimately Jnana Yoga when we are fully matured. Some of the points are coming from Gita Jnanam, which Hamsika will chant next. If the Upanishads are compared to a sacred cow, then Bhagavan Krishna is the divine cowherd who milks it, and the nourishing milk is the holy Gita, lovingly given to the eager calf Arjuna. Okay, as I said, it's all taken from the Gita Dhyanam and of course from Pujya Swamiji's Bhagavad Gita texts. Some very interesting points Swamiji makes. Religion involves two inseparable aspects. Okay, I'm not going to take it too long, but this foundation is required for us to appreciate the next 3-4 hours. Religion involves two inseparable aspects. One is the thorough study of its principles and philosophy. In the other is sincere practice of the principles and values we have learned. Just repeat because it's a very important point. Religion involves two inseparable aspects. One is the thorough study of its principles and philosophy, and the other is sincere practice of the principles and values we have learned. There's no point in reading, and but we don't apply. That's the point here. So Swamiji says, theory is incomplete without practice. Practice becomes mechanical and empty without the knowledge of the underlying theory. Beautiful line from Swamiji. Theory is incomplete without practice, and practice becomes mechanical, right? If you don't understand the philosophy behind the rituals, it becomes mechanical and empty without knowledge of the underlying theory. Thus, both theory and practice play a very important and complementary role in our spiritual life. So Swamiji quotes a verse. Aneka shastram bahuveditavyam alpascha kalo bahuvascha vignaha yat sarabhutam tadupasitavyam hamso yata shiram mavamvyatyat. Okay, so the summary of that, maybe it's a subhashitam. Our Hindu scriptures are vast, our time is limited, and especially the modern times where we are struggling for time, right? Even today, getting about 30-40 people is a challenge, right? But it's very happy to see we have already 19 people online now. So our Hindu scriptures are vast, our time is limited, and we face many obstacles in life. In such a situation, at the very least, we should strive to grasp the essence of our great scriptural tradition. Just like the swan with its power of discrimination extracts only the milk from a mixture of milk and water. The Bhagavad Gita is precisely that distilled essence of our Shastras, right? Very important point, right? We just think Bhagavad Gita is, Jnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, but it is the essence of entire Vedas, the Karma Kanda and also the Jnana Kanda. By learning and understanding the Gita, we come to understand our scriptures as a whole. We appreciate our Vedic culture. We recognize what it means to live a God-centered life. And we understand the core principles behind all Hindu dharmic practices. Beautiful sentences, right? By learning and understanding the Gita, we come to understand our scriptures as whole. We appreciate our Vedic culture. We recognize what it means to live a God-centered life, and we understand the core principles behind all Hindu dharmic practices. Pujya Swamiji, here means Swami Paramatmanandaji, says that he, along with all the acharyas, feels strongly that every Indian, every Hindu must compulsorily study at least the Bhagavad Gita. Must compulsorily study at least the Bhagavad Gita, thoroughly and systematically, not casually, right? Verse by verse, a thorough and methodical study of the Gita at least once in a lifetime is essential. Whether one is a spiritual seeker or not, in order to understand the great Bharat, our sacred motherland, and to understand the culture into which we are born, whether our orientation is more material or more spiritual, the study of Bhagavad Gita is indispensable for all. Even for one who is not a spiritual seeker but is content with religious lifestyle, the study of Bhagavad Gita is still necessary. Otherwise, our religious practices will slowly become mechanical, they will empty, and we will gradually drop them one by one. It is very familiar for us. The 20th century is a good example of how all of us are too deep into materialism. Once religious and spiritual culture decline happens in India, Bharat, the India will be overpowered by a purely materialistic culture. In a materialistic culture, we may seem to have everything, yet the heart remains empty. In a spiritual culture, we may be materially modest, but the heart is full. All the golden words of Swamiji. We may be surrounded by a palatial house and all modern gadgets, yet inside there will be an inner emptiness because materialism is Maya and Maya is Mithya, ultimately without lasting substance. Only a deep-rooted spiritual culture can give us true and enduring fullness. So how should a Gita student live? Bhagavan Krishna has prescribed noble values in several chapters and we must strive to live by them. I have to regularly hold my life against this mirror of knowledge and try to make my conduct closer and closer to what I have understood. Knowing is called Ritam, Sanskrit word Ritam, not the English word Ritam. Living by that knowledge is called Satyam. Both are equally important. Information and transformation must always go hand in hand. By chanting the Gita, by keeping a copy of Gita at home and by sincerely living its values, the Gita Mahatmyam assures us that all devatas will reside in our home. All the sacred rivers will sanctify our presence. And even if there are negative forces at home, they will not touch us or our family members. Finally, the Gita Mahatmyam declares that even if a person cannot chant the Gita slokas, at least repeating the word Gita itself confers great spiritual merit. With this, I conclude my opening remarks and warmly welcome all of you once again. Hari Om.